Hey, what's going on everybody? ScottDogGaming here. Thank you very much for joining us. As you can see, we're back. We're playing some more Football Manager. It's been a little while since I played. I apologise for the lack of gameplay in Football Manager. I had a little break from it, but we're back today. So how did we get on last time out? It's been a bit of a dip in form, I think, from memory. We've started to lose some of this amazing form that we had at the start of the season, with two losses on the bounce, and now we're up against Aston Villa, who are near the foot of the table. They're 17th, so fingers crossed we can get something from this game. It'd be nice to turn things around and get back on track. We've got some people who are coming back from injury. But we're just going to have to see how we get on. I think really McGoldrick is suspended, so Celine's going to go into that gap just behind the striker, and Waghorn is struggling from what I remember. Garner has a knock, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to try something like this. Swap you two round. I'm going to put you up top, and then I'm going to swap you for DRB. I think that's what we're going to go with this time out. So we're going to give this a go, see how we get on. We'll submit the team, but we'll have to give it a go. And I've been in the last couple of episodes talking about things that aren't necessarily related to the game that we're playing. So you'll have to let me know how you feel about that. If you're happy with that, if you're interested to hear my opinions, or you'd rather just hear me commentate on what is going on the pitch. But today I thought I'd spend the opportunity to talk about the only thing I could talk about, and that is the team that I support. Some of you may know this already. I do bang on about them a little bit. Oh my goodness, is Liverpool. And what happened on Wednesday night against Roma, and the fact that we will be playing Real Madrid in the Champions League in 3 weeks' time in the final in Kiev. Spoilers, by the way, if you didn't know that happens. I have to say, Liverpool won the first game should have been 5-0, won it 5-2, and then had a real ropey game in Roma, but managed to hold on in there to make it, I think it was 4-2 to Roma in the end, meaning that Liverpool went through 7-6 on aggregate, which is insane for a Champions League. But I think both of the clubs, or all of the clubs that are in the semi-finals, had a bit of a leaky defence. So I guess the first thing, oh come on boys, I guess the first thing we should talk about is first off the achievement of just getting there. Liverpool are an interesting team at the moment. I have been a Liverpool fan ever since I can remember, and what I remember Liverpool to be built on is a solid defence, and as a Jurgen Klopp team, we do not have that. I remember obviously the 80s because I'm old, but I also remember Rafa Benitez style of football, Gerard Houllier style of football. To a point in Europe, it was get a 0-0 if you have to, maybe get one away goal if you're lucky, and then build on the Anfield atmosphere and win games there. But with Klopp, it doesn't matter where we go, we've got the same style of football in every single game, and it's exciting. It's also nerve-wracking. This is what worries me, is that Liverpool go against Real Madrid, who are looking to win the Champions League for the third time in a row. Come on, Hughes. Oh, come on, boy. To win the Champions League for the third time in a row, and they're up against a team that they have no idea what they're going to be like when they play, because they could be absolute world beaters, or they could be distinctly average, and it's just going to be whether they can sort of contain their nerve, I think, more than anything else. And Jurgen Klopp doesn't have a great record in finals. I don't think that means a great deal, to be honest with you. If Liverpool lose, the press won't shut up about it. If Liverpool win, then fantastic. But I just wanted to I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you think of that game, how you think it's going to go, and what you think of the way Liverpool play football against Real Madrid, or will play football against Real Madrid. Come on, Sears. Oh, come on. Really need a win here. We're looking all right. We're not looking too bad. We have weathered a little bit of a storm in the middle of the game, or the early part of the first half. But we look like we've found our rhythm a little bit. Like we're starting to find a little bit of presence. However, here comes Taylor. So one of the players, obviously, that everyone's been talking about, or one of the players that everyone has been talking about, is Salah, and his 40-odd goals this season and 31 in the Premier League and all the rest of that. It's incredible. I don't think it's gone Waghorn. Time to make amends. Get in. I don't think Salah is as good as Messi or Ronaldo. I guess only time will tell, and I guess doing it consistently every single year is really what you need to be as good as Messi or Salah. And I just think that Salah is in a very, very purple patch of form, and next season he might well go back to being a normal winger. I hope not, but you know, I don't see it continuing as. But I've said that every year about Harry Kane, and every year Harry Kane scores 30 goals a season. Diaby, oh, unlucky son. But Firmino is probably the player that when he makes us tick, everything he does is at a pace that wins the ball back, about pressuring, about and then he's got the flair as well. He's turned into an absolute world-class striker in my opinion, and he fits Liverpool perfectly. Mane has had, I think, a bit of a poor season actually this season, but that being said, he's got 9 goals in the Champions League and he weighs in with some very important goals. But one of the players who I think has been getting quite a lot of plaudits this season because of his assists, but actually is really important for Liverpool at the moment, is James Milner. He has had a fantastic season. Him and Andrew Robertson have been amazing this season as far as I'm concerned. Milner hasn't played enough, but I think we're seeing the benefits of that now. He's having to play, and with the injury to Ox, it's a bit of a shame. 10 minutes to go. Can we see this out? I haven't made any changes. Let's stick with what we've got. Yeah, so Ox and being out is a miss because he adds a lot of pace in the middle of the park, which is great for a midfield. And I think the one thing that Real Madrid might suffer for is maybe a lack of pace in the very central midfield role and the defensive defenders. And I think Marcelo, who likes to get forward, that will be the battle. Marcelo and Salah, and who wins that, I think, is the real crunch battle there. If Marcelo likes to do his marauding thing, but Liverpool win the ball back, then Real Madrid could have some problems. If Marcelo pushes forward against a very inexperienced Trent Alexander-Arnold, then Liverpool might have problems. But you know, I think Liverpool fans, yes, they want to win it, but are absolutely delighted just to be here. Bigger thing for me is tomorrow's game. I'm recording this on a Saturday. Tomorrow's game against Chelsea and the battle for 4th. Get in, Hughes. Absolutely huge, that one. Liverpool need, I think, a point in their last 2 games, but the pressure if Liverpool lose tomorrow against Chelsea, and I think realistically that puts all Liverpool, Tottenham and Chelsea on 72 points potentially going into the last game, which would be insane. But yeah, that obviously is the one thing that's been in my head for the last 3 or 4 days, is the qualification for the final, and obviously my delight. I did have a little look at tickets. I think the most expensive ticket for the Champions League final is about £350. The cheapest is about £50 for restricted view, and both Liverpool and Real Madrid are only going to get 16,000 tickets each, which is ridiculous. For, you know, the amount of tickets that go to corporate is just insane. I get that it's a competition that's worth a lot of money and has a lot of sponsorship, but I mean, come on. And then the next thing is that a hotel room. I saw a tweet that for like what looked like a very, very basic room in Kiev, which is where the final's going to be held. I've been to Kiev. It looked like a very nice city. It looked like a very basic room in like an apartment block or something. And the one night stay was £2,400. So I can only assume that, you know, obviously knowing the Champions League is going to be in town, knowing football fans from some fairly well-off nations are coming, prices through the roof, absolutely make some money. I would assume it would be the same for Russia and the World Cup. I'm assuming it's the same everywhere, to be honest with you. But it's an interesting one that, you know, that happens, and I imagine flights are going to be insane. Offering me a new contract. Oh, thanks very much. It's very kind of you. I always wondered if I needed to accept that, or if I could have just put my request for money down if I'd have done the job for free. But yes, the extortionate prices of when a gig or when an event is coming to town, and the demand is there, the prices go through the effing roof, and it's a joke. But I'm pleased that Liverpool are there. I will say that, and I'm very, very happy if we make it our 6th European win. Okay, we won't worry too much about our youth players just now. I did go and have a little look at the start of the season and sign up the players that I thought were going to be best for us. So we'll not worry too much about this. One thing I also wanted to mention on this is I don't really know. Oh God, we are losing money. We need a promotion. I don't really know where in the schedule this fits. So at the moment, I'm kind of recording in batches and then releasing as and when it feels right, in terms of there's a lot of content going up on the channel as of late, and that's probably why there hasn't been the consistency to this. So at the moment, with the channel, if you're only here for the football managers, then that's fine. I absolutely appreciate it. If you're regular on the channel and you're watching this as well, then thank you very much. If you're new here and you're checking this out, and you like hearing me babble on about nothing, then please go and check out the rest of the videos. At the moment, I was doing a RimWorld series and a Factorio highlights or Factorio footage from a live stream that I did quite a while back, and then we changed it. Or we will be changing it, because the RimWorld series has just come to an end. But what used to happen on channels, I used to put out a video every day, or more than one video every day, of a different game, but the same game each day, if that makes sense. So that doesn't make sense at all. So for example, I would play City Skylines on a Monday, I would play RimWorld on a Tuesday, I would play, Sniper Elite on a Wednesday, etc., etc. And it would be that one video a day. And then I could put the Football Manager videos up whenever I felt like it. Normally, they used to be on sort of either every day or every other day. It used to be that sort of scenario. That has changed slightly in that now we do 2 different series, two different series every single day. So at the moment, it's RimWorld and Factorio. And the Factorio series is coming to an end, and the RimWorld series is coming to an end. So I've got some space for 2 series, but also I've been playing God of War, which was probably for me more than the channel, because it doesn't really fit with the kind of games I play on the channel, but I really wanted to try it, so we've been playing it. We are putting a lot of pressure on them. We need a goal. Oh dear, we've closed down without really any real pressure. There's Hughes. Come on, boys. See, he's on. There's Waghorn, fresh from his goal, can't find the ball. Knudson's going to get there. And there's Bilakowski. So yes, we've been playing sort of the same games for maybe a month or so now, and they've now come to an end. So I need some new series. So if anyone has any ideas, then please let me know. Get in, Hughes. Selena's there. We'll take that. We'll take a 1-0 lead going into the 7th minute. This feels like it's been going on for a very long time without any kind of breaks from the highlights. Great little ball there. I think that was McGoldrick, was it? No, Orfa. And then Selena with the ball across. So yes, I need some suggestions. I think one of them might be the new Total War game. I haven't played a Total War game for ages. Stupidly, I have this thing where I'm a little bit addicted to buying computer games. So I brought the Total War Warhammer. Get in, Hughes. The Total War Warhammer when that first came out, the first one, never played it. I brought the Total War Warhammer 2 when that came out, still haven't played it. And then Thrones of Britannia came out, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to buy it. And I'm actually going to play this one. So I'm going to try and learn how to play that game, and then potentially we'll do a series in that if I can figure out what the hell I'm doing. So that's possibly going to come up. The reason I wanted to buy it is just because obviously the history of the UK and the the subject matter for Thrones of Britannia is obviously quite intriguing. I come from East Anglia, and there was quite a large Viking presence in the area. in the 900s. I think sort of just down the road in Thetford, by all accounts, it sounds like the River Orwell was sort of what the Vikings used to sail a lot of their ships up, and the Great Heathen Army was situated in and around the area. So I'd like to give it a go. I'd like to get in Waghorn. I'd like to know more about it, if I'm really honest. I'd really like to find out more about the whole Viking scenario. I was stupidly, I watched Vikings, like I think it's on season 3 or 4 now maybe, and I watched 2 or 3 of the series and got really into it, and then spoilers again, one of the main characters died, so I kind of lost a little bit of interest at that point. But it did spark my interest into actually what are the stories, what happened in the real world, because obviously with these sorts of things, they're based on the true story, but I don't know how true it is, and then you get this vision in your head that this must be what happened, even though it's probably not what happened. So I'd like to actually understand what really did happen. I'm not going to get that from Siege Britannia, but it sparked my interest enough to make me want to play it. Come on, boys, we should have done better there. Carter Vickers is there, but we've only headed it out to Osborne and Murphy. There's McGoldrick. There's Hughes. Hughes is having a storm since he's come back from injury. He's in again. Should have scored. Should have scored. This is, what a ball. Oh, fires it wide, but we're playing some good football. I think it might be down to Notts Forest being terrible at the moment, rather than us being great. What else is there that we need to talk about? I guess Ipswich Town is probably quite interesting to talk about. Just bearing in mind we're doing the Ipswich Town playthrough. Actually, you know what? We'll save that for the next episode. Let's talk about one other thing, and yes, it's Liverpool related. Steven Gerrard. Stevie G has gone out and got himself a new job. A new job which I've never really been a huge fan of them, and that is manager of Rangers. Sorry if you're a Rangers fan. I guess there's always been this somewhat semi-affiliation between Liverpool and Celtic. For years there's kind of a lot of, from what I understand, a lot of Celtic fans are Liverpool fans. So I've never been this massive Rangers fans. Also, my brother, when I was younger, was a follower of Celtic, and it kind of just, I guess, rubbed off on me a little bit. So I've been keeping an eye on Stevie G. He's been doing quite well as the It's been doing quite well as the... Alright, what we got going on here? So Sears is now on the left. Let's swap those two around. Perfect. Yeah, I've been following Stevie G. He's been in charge of the under-19s, and because Liverpool are in Champions League, they do this thing where the under-19s play the under-19s of the Champions League teams, and they've been doing quite well, by all accounts. So let's see how he does. I'm intrigued to find out what he does. There's talk that the first player he's interested in is Skirtle. I don't know how. What is happening here with this substitution? We made 3 subs and they were all the same one. It's just, okay, stop telling me that this was the sub. I don't need to know that. For what the hell is going on? Seriously, what is going on? Stop it. Right, let me get out of here. Can we bring on some defenders and freshen up things a little bit? So Iorfa, let's get you off and bring on Spence, I guess. Chambers for Carter Vickers, I guess. And that's the end of our substitutions, because we can't have any more. Let's see what that does from the substitution list. Spence, good knockdown. He set him up perfectly. Glad I brought you on. Well done, Billa. Yes, so and it makes it very interesting, because what is happening with this substitution thing? It's been telling me that Abu Dhabi and Waghorn changed for the last 15 minutes in this game. It hasn't told me about the new subs. Oh my god, they should have scored. They should have scored 2, to be fair. So yes, it makes it very interesting for Brendan Rodgers versus Stevie G. Brendan Rodgers obviously used to be Stevie G's manager. Brendan Rodgers is constantly winning the league in Scotland because he's in charge of Celtic, and no one else really comes close. But it'll be interesting to see. I don't know what the financial situation is like. I don't think it's great for Rangers, but you'd assume, based on the fact that they're in the the top division in Scotland. They've got a massive stadium and a huge support base. If they have rebuilt the club properly, then you get the feeling there will be cash to spend, not the kind of cash that people talk about. I guess it's now really difficult for those sorts of teams. I hadn't really thought about this. For Liverpool to be able to spend £40 million on Salah, and then him to be potentially being touted around for £200 million. You know, for Coutinho to be going for 180 odd million pounds or whatever it was, can't remember exact numbers now, dollars, euros, whatever it was. You know, for that kind of thing to be happening, where does that leave every other club? You know, does it mean, for God's sake, what are you doing, boys? Does it mean that the prices in the Championship are still the same? You know, can you still buy a good midfielder for £1 million, or is that £1 million midfielder now £5 million? I don't know. And if he's £5 million, nothing's changed for those clubs to mean that that £5 million is easy to come by. So I'm intrigued to see what that kind of means. Last season transfer window was kind of the big one where it all started to kick off. You know, we had Pogba before that, but this is where average footballers were going for huge sums of money. I need to stop this game so we can't see that stupid bar coming up and down. It's driving me mad. There we go. We've got a couple of wins. Bruised head for Waghorn. Press conference. We're going to send the assistant. Hughes, again, puts in a great performance. Okay, he didn't seem to like that very much. Okay. I mean, he was good in front of goal. I probably should have told him that. But, well, I didn't. So we are currently sitting second, 2 points behind Sheffield Wednesday. 1 goal difference better, which is quite nice. So, I guess 20 games in, pretty much halfway through the season. We'll call it there. Thank you very much for watching. Please hit the like button, subscribe button, follow us on Twitter at ScottDogGaming, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you.